Hello, guys, and welcome to this our interactive session where we are going to be looking at a very important topic yet left out by many uh, who venture into the forex market, right? So we are going to be talking about emotional awareness in forex trading, and the reason why we are going to be talking about emotional awareness is because we understand that emotions play a lot in our trading. So you're going to realize that trading isn't all about strategies and technical analysis. There needs to be a balance between your platform, your methodology, which is technical analysis, your mindset, and psychology. And what most people don't realize is that mindset and psychology and emotions carry a greater part in trading. So we are going to maybe you've come across many people telling you don't trade with emotions, keep your emotions at the door, do a lot of things with your emotions, right? But what we don't understand is that emotions are part of us human beings, right? Emotions are part of natural part of us, and there is no way that we can deal away with our emotions. And so what are we left to do? We are left to work with our emotions rather than trying to fight them. So the only time that a human being does not have emotions is when the human being is dead. As long as you are alive, you're always going to feel fearful, you're always going to be feel greedy, you're always going to have all these emotions. And so you can never run from them, but you can transcend them by working with them. And so you do not solve a problem by running away from it, but by embracing it, accepting it, and working with it, realizing what that is trying to teach you. So before we go into the proper of what we are going to be looking at in this our session, we are going to be looking top first of all asking ourselves what is an emotion, right? So an emotion as defined by neurobiology and by a prominent trading psychologist, Randy Howell, he describes an emotion as a biological action potential that coordinates activity between the human being and the environment, right? So, an emotion is a biological action potential that coordinates activity between the environment and a human being. And so, when you come to trading, you're going to realize that you, the individual, is you, the trader, and the environment is the market, right? Now, you are coming into forex trading and you are bringing a mind or you are bringing a self that has been built to do or to strive in a different environment, right? So, the human mind always strives on certainty. So, we always want to be sure. If you want to get into something, you want to be sure that what you are getting into that thing yields you a result, right? And the human mind also fears losing. Fear is an emotion, right? Fear is an emotion, and I'm going to explain to you how these emotions, which have served of us perfectly in our evolution as human beings, does not serve us in our trading. Okay, so I was explaining that the human mind fears uncertainty. It does not like uncertainty. You always want to be certain, right? We always want to be certain that what we are doing is going to work out. The next move that we take, it should work out. We want to know what to do next, right? That is why we always try to predict the future. But it is really, really very difficult for you to predict the future. And now you are bringing a mind that fears losses, it fears uncertainty, it hates uncertainty and a lot of things. And now you're bringing it into the forex market, right? Where uncertainty and the dynamic nature of the market leaves you open to risks, leaves you open to losses, leaves you open to uncertainty. And so you're bringing in a mind that has been trained by evolution to deal or to strive under certainty. But now you're bringing it into an environment that is built for uncertainty. And so you should realize at the beginning of your journey that the mind that you bring into trading will have to change. Okay, so I usually use an example of a fish. If you take a fish out of water and you put it on land, you do not expect that fish to strive in the same way that it does in water. Same as if we take you and we put you in water, you're never going to strive in the same way that you do on land. And so it is the same thing in trading. You're bringing in a mind that has been built to perform in a different environment. So this mind can serve you well in our real world. But now when you bring it into trading, you see that this is the mind that is working against you. Take, for example, an emotion like fear. Now, fear is an emotion that has helped us survive this far, right? And how has fear helped us? When you feel fearful, you are going to get triggered into what is called fight or flight. So, take for example, you are in a situation, a very dangerous situation, and you become so fearful. What two things are you going to do? It is either you attack or you run away. And the worst thing, my friends, is that you do not even need your conscious mind, right, for all of these to take place. Your emotional mind is has been trained to respond automatically, right? So when you buy a device, the device comes with a default mode, right? So what you have to do is to install an updated version onto that device, right? So that you're able to use that device. And so the default programming that we have as human beings does not naturally allow us to trade the forex market. Now, I don't know if you have ever asked yourself, why is it that in a market where 6 trillion US dollar is traded every day, and all what it requires for us to do is to buy and to sell and to do technical analysis, right? People know this technical analysis, but at the end of the day, how many profitable traders are there? I'm not talking about those who sell courses, those who do mentorship. I'm talking about those who trade. How many of them are making profit consistently? We have only about 5% of people who trade the forex market that make money consistently. And so the 95% of people who are trading forex, they are not making money. Is it that they don't know technical analysis? Is it that they cannot trade? They can. But because the emotional mind has been programmed to protect you in against losses, against uncertainty, when you bring in that mind, and that mind often reacts automatically. Once you bring in that default programming into trading, you're going to see that it begins to protect you, not because it is hating you, right? It is because it is just doing what it has been built to do, to protect you against uncertainty and to protect you against losses. So when you feel fearful to take a trade, what is causing you to fear taking a trade? Because of uncertainty, right? You don't know what the outcome is going to be. So accepting that uncertainty, right, is a rule in trading. Same as in life, you never know what is going to happen. By the time you finish watching this video, you don't know what is going to happen. By the time you take a trade, you don't know what will happen, right? And so we are trying to always trying to predict, trying to envision what the future is going to be like, instead of us dwelling in the present moment, where the only thing that we need to do is to savor in the beauty of the present moment. So we are going to talk in our next lectures, and we are going to see how being in the present moment can help us to better trade as traders. So I was explaining that we are simply bringing in a mind that has been trained to thrive in a different environment, and we are bringing it into a strange environment. And so it does not just allow for this mind to perform perfectly. And that is why emotional awareness in trading is very important. So let us look at it, go deep down into developing emotional awareness. What you are learning here isn't only going to help you in trading, but it is also going to help you in your own daily life and in whatever you do in life. So I like to tell people that when you look at trading, right, and you look at a deep understanding, you have a deep understanding of trading, you're going to understand that trading and life are the same sides of the same coin. And so when you turn heads, you see life, and you turn tail, you see trading, right? Now, okay, life is full of uncertainty. Trading is full of uncertainty. Life is full of dynamics, right? Life is very dynamic, and price action also is very dynamic, right? So I like to tell people that trading is a master course for self development, right? So if you haven't realized that since you started trading, this is what you should realize. So today we are going to be understanding and managing emotions for trading success, and that is why we want to be aware of our emotions and how they affect our trading. So you see something like impatience, fear, greed, all of these things, stress. Oh, there are a lot of emotion, happiness, anger. All of this begins to show up in our trading. And so it is for you, the trader, to reprogram the mind that you are bringing into trading. And it begins with you being aware of what is stopping you and what is holding you back. So remember, I said the emotional mind does not need your conscious reasoning. That is the thinking mind for it to react. It reacts automatically and often within seconds. And so you only realize the damage that you have done to your account just after everything has cleared away. Okay, the damage that you have done by either staying out of a trade or by jumping into a trade too early or too late. So I like to tell people that when you do your analysis and you fear taking that trade, is it the market that caused you not to take the trade? No, you're the trader, you did not take that trade. And if you FOMO, right, because you are so afraid of missing out on an opportunity and you take a trade and end up losing, is it the market that caused you to lose, or you are the one that caused you to lose? And most often, we do not know that the root cause of all these reactions, all these emotional reactions, are so automatic that it does not require the conscious mind for it to act. And so, developing emotional awareness allows you, the trader, to be able to spot these emotions once they come up in you. And then you are able to say, this is the emotion coming up. And from this emotion, uh, I know that if I am fearful, I am going to be triggered to fight or flight. So when somebody attacks you, what do? You first of all try by attacking yourself, attacking the person, or running away. And so since the market is uncertain, and it brings that spirit of fear in you. That is why fight or flight is triggered in you. So if you don't know this, my friend, you're going to be repeating the same mistakes over and over, not because you don't know technical analysis, or not because you cannot become a good trader, but because you are unaware of the emotions guiding your trading, right? Okay. Oh, why emotions matter in trading? Why do emotions matter? I think I already explained all of these because emotions, right, they drive our actions. You might think that your thinking mind is driving your emotions, but in reality, we human beings, we are emotional beings. That is what I mentioned in the beginning. And so you're going to realize that all thinking is emotional state dependent. So if you get into a stressful situation, your thinking is going to be based off that stress that you are receiving. If you get into a fearful situation, your thinking is going to be based on that fearful situation. If you get into a situation where you are angry, your thinking is going to be controlled by that anger, except that you have developed the emotional awareness and the mindfulness, right, to be able to spot those emotions and to regulate them, right? Okay, so how do you regulate your emotions? We regulate emotions through body control and with uh, uh, breathing. So we are going to get all of that when we begin to go deep into this. So one thing I always tell people is that forex trading is a journey. It requires learning, and so when you come into it, you begin to make sure that you go through the right process. Do not skip the process, and that is why in this channel you are going to find a video that talks about emotional or the mindset that you bring into trading, and it is adopting the right mindset as a beginner in trading. So you bring in a wrong mindset, you're going to have wrong results. You bring in the right mindset, you're going to bring out right result. So that is why emotions matter in trading. The impact of emotions on decision. I made mention that all thinking, right, is emotional state dependent. And so if I'm feeling fearful, I'm going to be thinking and responding based off that emotion of fear. If I am happy, right? You ever seen somebody who is high, right? Like somebody who is drunk, or maybe somebody who smokes some weed. So they are so happy, right? Dopamine is high. That's why somebody gets drunk and they feel so generous. Now that happiness is bringing out generosity in them, and most often they do not understand why they become so generous, right? Okay, so I hope you have realized that in some situations. If you have not, then you go and realize it. Then now you can begin to appreciate what we are talking about here. Now, if you understand that this is how it works naturally, that emotions affect our trading because we are emotional beings, and all thinking is emotional state dependent. And so when you come into trading, it is not your IQ, it is not the amount of intelligence, your IQ that is going to guide you, but it is your EQ, that is emotional intelligence, that is going to guide you. I've seen a lot of people who are very intelligent, but when they come into trading, people who succeed so well in different fields out of trading, but when they come into trading, it is never possible for them, right? That is why I say it is not IQ, but EQ. Now, we want to look at emotions because we want to develop emotional intelligence. We want to develop the mindfulness to be able to catch these emotions when they arise, right? You are able to catch these emotions through mindfulness by observing your thoughts and the emotions that arise, right? So if you are not able to do this, you're going to ever be ruled by your emotions, and you're only going to realize the damage that you have done to your account when the emotions have cleared down. So these emotions are naturally just protecting us, just protecting you, the individual. So remember that we drawing going back to our ancestral days, to the primal mind. So the emotional mind can also be known as the primitive mind. We had to strive. Our ancestors needed to strive, or to struggle, right? Facing all types of challenges. Imagine how it was. I don't know, when you watch these ancient movies, right? You see how it is. They were constantly living in fear that something is about to attack them. And so that is the mind that they were building. They were always building walls around them. You see China built the wall around them. You see every great civilization, they built walls around them because they were constantly living in fear. And so they were constantly living in fear, fearing that a neighboring village could attack them, fearing uncertainty, right? And so the mind that they developed is a mind that helped them to strive in that very uh, in that very time in at that very period in time, right? Now, that is not the time that we are living in, but you understand that you carry the DNA of your ancestor, and so the mind that your ancestors carry, and since we evolved from the primates, right? If you watch National Geography, you're going to realize that most animals, they they, they, they they operate mostly on instincts and on emotions. But because we have developed what is called the neocortex, right? That is the thinking mind. That is what we call the neocortex. That is the thinking mind. That is why we are more higher, and we are able to consciously evaluate something and we make decisions on it. Right. That is why developing emotional intelligence is necessary, because the mind that evolution has given us is not just the mind that is needed for trading, and that is simple. So you're going to see that you're struggling in trading not because you lack the right knowledge in technical analysis, but because uh, the mind that trades has not been developed to suit the environment that you are in. So, common emotions in forex trading. I already mentioned of fear, fear of losing, fear of missing out. And this is one of the emotions that we are going to see come up in our trading so often. This fear, it comes out so much, and it comes in form of fear of missing out, fear of losing, and fear of uh, uncertainty. A lot of them. So when you come into that, when you become fearful, let's say you take a loss the previous day or the previous week, what happens to you? Because your emotional mind sees trading as something which is fearful, you losing capital, right? And the way that we have been trained about money also begins to affect our trading. So your money psychology will have to change as well. We have been taught to understand that money is a source of power, right? And it is exhibited everywhere, it is advertised everywhere. For us to understand that money is a source of power. And so when you carry this your money and you put it into trading and you lose your money, right? It means you're losing power, you're losing your worth as a human being. So nowadays, people's worth is being determined by their net worth, right? And so if you're losing your net worth, you're losing your money into the market, right? What are you doing? You're losing your worth. And so the mind begins to see it not as you losing small of your money or losing capital. It begins to see it as an entire threat to your life. And that is why it will always try to protect you from uh, taking a loss, because it is not seeing it as merely a loss, but it is seeing it as a loss of value. It is seeing it as a loss of worth, and it is seeing it as a loss of your personality. Now, greed, over trading, you get into the market, you want more, more. That is what the human mind wants, right? We always want more. The trade is giving you, the market has given you what, a good amount of money, but you still want more money, and you begin to overtrade. And in trading, we say that less is more and more is less. So the more you trade, the more you lose. And why do you overtrade? Because of greed, right? Because you want more money. You start taking high risk decisions because you are greedy. On a trade where you are supposed to trade in with a small lot size, you're coming in with a very fat lot size on it because you want money. But this greed has also helped us in our evolution, right? It has helped us to protect our family. It has helped us to protect our integrity. It has helped us to protect everything. So when you're coming into trading again, it is trying to protect you. But you don't know that this is what the emotional mind is doing, because nobody, your mentor never taught you this, and you never made a conscious effort to find out why is it that in a market where we have millions of people trading and trillions of US dollar being traded, and it requires that you only buy or sell, majority of the people are not making money. Hope is another emotion that we face in trading. Excuse me. Now, when you take a trade and it is going against you, you begin to feel hopeful, right? You go and you remove your stop loss. You're feeling hopeful. You're having unrealistic expectations. The market has given you profits. For you to take what the market has given you and you go away with it, you're expecting the market to give you more. The market is retracing against you, and you can see that I am clearly wrong on this trade. But you begin to feel hopeful that this market is not going to go against me. Then you go and you remove your stop loss. Is it the market that caused that? No, it is because you were hopeful. It is you, the trader, that has a default in your system. So I like to tell people that we human beings, right? We traders, we are the greatest loophole in our trading. And until the mind that trades is reorganized or rewired to suit the new environment, we are always going to be facing troubles in trading. Frustration. Maybe you have traded, You've traded for a whole week since you started trading. You're seeing people making money. You're not making money. You get frustrated. Or you take a trade and you win your first trade. You take the second trade and you lose all that money plus some of your capital. You start getting frustrated. From this frustration, you start thinking. Frustration now begins to guide your thinking. And when frustration starts guiding your thinking, now you begin to revenge trade because you start telling yourself that this money that the market has taken, I am going to take back this money by fire, by force. Big problem in your trading as well. Anger. When you take a trade and you see the money goes against you. That's why you see a lot of people, they break their devices, break things when a trade goes against them. That is just because naturally the mind hates to lose, and you're coming into trading and you have no awareness of this. So tell me, how are you going to strive in the market? You're only going to be among the 95% of people who constantly lose money in trading. And so you get angry since you took a loss. You get angry and you say, I've been doing this thing for a long time, I deserve this. The market, I'm supposed to be taking more of winning positions than losing now. Now you start revenge trading out of anger and out of frustration. You begin to overtrade. You begin now to see how our emotions guide our trading. So you might think, sit on in front of your machine, right? You sit in front of your computer and you think that it is you who is consciously guiding that trading, but you don't know that there is an old geeky primary or primitive mind sitting behind there, right? That begins to guide your trading, and it begins to protect you because it is trying to protect you against uncertainty. It is trying to protect you against losing. So if you have ever revenge trade, if you have ever overtraded, if you have ever ignored your stop loss, if you have ever used high risks on a trade that you are not supposed to use, and all the realistic expectations, know from today that these emotions are the root cause of why you are doing this. And so until these are well managed, there is always going to be trouble in your trading performance. All right. So I think that that has gone into your mind and it begins to trigger a lot in your mind. Now, the psychology behind trading emotions, how the brain reacts to risks and uncertainty. I already mentioned to you that I already mentioned to you that the brain fears risks and it fears uncertainty. And the brain sees it as a threat to the personality. The emotional mind sees it as a threat to the personality. So if you look at the image that we have here, it is an image that is representing, which is telling you that you must bring the two sides of the mind, right? So remember, we have the left side and the right side of the mind. So the emotional mind must work together with the conscious mind for you to be able to make well balanced and well thought out decisions in the market. Okay, so that is how the mind reacts to risks and uncertainty. It reacts to it as a threat to its existence. And that is why it will always do everything possible to protect you against risks and against uncertainty. Cognitive bias that affects trading, confirmation bias, overconfidence, right? These are one of the things that also affect our trading, right? Uh, the mind has been developed in such a way that it always likes to see, it always looks for the worst case scenario in everything. That is why when you go and you ask somebody or you give somebody your idea and you tell somebody that I have this idea, most likely that person is going to first of all come out and tell you and try to discourage you from that. So you who has who has an understanding of how the mind works, this cognitive bias, right, in our that the mind works on, right? You understand that that is where that mind is coming from. It is not because that person hates you, it is just the way the mind has been built. Overconfidence. Now, because you took a winning trade yesterday, you think that you are the gods of the market, you are a god in the market. Now you think you could just play around. You begin to throw away all the rules, you throw them out of the window, and you begin to trade anyhow because you have become so confident. So most of the accounts that get blown in forex trading are blown after a winning streak. So a trader takes trades and you're winning, you become so unconfident, so overconfident that you throw away all the process that brought you those winning trades, right? So that is how the mind works. Emotional triggers that it and their impact on performance. So there are other things that that will trigger these emotions. A lot of things are going to trigger these emotions in your trading. Fear is going to trigger it. Hate, all of these emotions. That is what triggers your emotions, right? So you have to train the mind to know that this is what is triggering this emotion. So you might take a trade and you're feeling fearful, not because not because the trade is going against you, but because you enter that market with scared money. What do I mean by scared money? You get up in the morning and maybe all your money that you have in the world is just $100, right? And you're expecting that this your $100 is going to give you $1,000 today. And so first of all, you're trading with scared money. Now, when you're trading with scared money, it means you're already afraid of losing that money. And you see that the more you fear, the more you attract more things to be fearful with. That is the irony with fear. The more you are fearful, the more you begin to attract more things for you to be fearful of. And what are you going to attract? More losses in the market. Now, I was saying that you get up in the morning, you are risking too much. You know that you have just $100 to use for your trading, and that is the only money that you have. And you bring this money and you're putting it into trading. If you lose that money today, you're going to lose. Maybe you're not going to eat for the next how many days. So you might think that you are fearful to trade eh, because because of some emotions, right, somewhere. But that is not the emotion that is triggered. That is not what it is triggering it. Beneath that fear is you fearing to lose that money, because you know that when you lose that money, it's going to be so difficult for you to refund your account, to feed yourself, and to be able to sustain yourself in the coming days, right? So that is the root cause of that fear. So if you look at it deeper, you are going to see that there is a trigger somewhere that is triggering that fear. That is what emotional intelligence does to us. For us to be able to identify these triggers and for us to properly manage them. And this is done through emotional awareness. So I've mentioned to you that fear and greed has a very high has a very high potential to affect our trading. So, how do we manage fear and greed in trading? So, there needs to be a balance between your fear and your greed, right? And how do you do this? You set realistic goals and expectations. You don't come into the market where it is full of uncertainty and you're expecting that the market should give you money today. How did you know? So when I see somebody get up and tell and says, let's make money today, I just look at them and I laugh. How did you know that the market is going to give you money today? The market might not just be willing to give you that money at that on that particular day, right? So you're already coming into the market with already preconceived unrealistic goals and expectations. And so once these expectations are not met in the market, you begin to blame your broker, you begin to blame the market, you begin to blame everything. But you fail to understand that it was your unrealistic goal and it was your expectations that failed you, right? So one thing again is using proper risk management strategies. If you are trading and you are trading with scared money, that is you not practicing risk management. If you're over leveraging, you're using a very fat lot size, you begin to feel so fearful. So anytime you want to take a trade and you're feeling so fearful, look at your lot size that you're using. Reduce your leverage, reduce your lot size. Your lot size and leverage can help you in the market, same as it can kill you in the market, right? So if you're feeling too fearful, you reduce the lot size on that trade, and never forget that using a stop loss in your analysis or whatever strategy that you use is always the key. So we say you must become a risk manager first before you become a trader. You must learn to manage your losses and to make sure that you press on those wins. So when you win, you make sure you win more, and when you lose, you make sure you're losing less. And you're going to see that a lot of things comes up with risk management, right? So one of the things is not over trading, focusing on high probability setups, right? Using proper lot sizes, using proper leverage, using uh, 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 not taking unnecessary trades. That is how you manage risks. It is just Trading is just about you managing your risks, making sure that when you lose less, and when you make money more. Well, sticking to a well-defined trading plan. So, if you leave from where you are and you want to go somewhere, right? You must have a plan that is going to guide you to where you are going. If a ship leaves from here, or a plane leaves from uh, point A and it wants to get to point B, right? That ship or that plane must have a plan, must have a compass that guides it to point B. And so you get into trading without a plan that will require you to live from a novice to a professional trader. You don't have a plan around your tradings, right? So it is most likely that you are going to end up a loser. And if a ship sails out without a compass, right, to guide its journey, that ship or that plane is going to end up on some deserted island or some deserted forest somewhere. So it is the same thing with us in trading. You're coming into trading without a plan. Your plan on how you are going to grow as a trader, your plan in trading, right? So you always have to develop a trading plan for yourself. Okay, now developing emotional discipline, importance of patience in importance of patience and consistency. So, developing emotional discipline will help you to be patient. So, when you get into trading and you understand that there are things that you will need to work on for you to get to where you want to be, now you begin to become more patient with your journey. You are patient to wait enough for your setup to validate, right? So every day, trading does not being a trader does not mean that you trade all the time. You must be patient for your setups to come into you and give you what you want, to come to you, give you confirmations for you to trade properly. So you might see that you do your analysis and it is going to take about 2 days, 5 days, a week, a month for that setup to fully validate. And so if you're not patient enough, you'll find yourself taking trading opportunities that were never in your trading plan. And consistency in trading as well. Consistency in putting in the effort that is going to lead to your trading success. Consistency in following your trading plan. Consistency in managing risks. Consistency in being disciplined. And so that is why developing emotional discipline in trading is very important. So when you develop emotional discipline, you're going to see that most of the impulsive trading decisions are going to get out of your way. You are not going to find yourself trading because you are fearing of missing out, or you are being fearful of losing money. You don't feel that urge for you to overtrade. All these impulsive decisions, because you now have this emotion, you have now built emotional discipline, you're able to manage all these emotions that come in, thereby avoiding impulsive trading decisions. I mention to you that mindfulness is the tool through which we can always spot the emotion that it is coming up. And that is why having your mind in the present moment is always important. So that when that emotion begins to arise, you begin to realize that, okay, This is the emotion that is coming up. So mindfulness is just you being able to watch your thought, and for you to be able to recognize which thoughts are going through your mind, and for you to realize that you are not your thoughts. So when you hear somebody talk, right, naturally or unconsciously, they will tell you that a thought just came into my mind, right? Okay, that is what we mean by you are not your thoughts. So when once these fearful thoughts start coming in, do you align with them, or do you recognize them for what it is and you're able to deal with them, right? And that is what mindfulness is going to guide you at. Stress management. How do we manage stress? When you are under a stressful situation, right? What do you do? When somebody is so stressed, what is the first thing that you see them do? They take a very deep breath. And so, mindfulness and breathing is how we are able to catch these emotions before they do damage on our account. And stress management is we do this through breathing, and that is what we teach in our program. So, there is something that we call bellows breathing, and there is also something that we call yogi breathing. You breathe from your stomach. And so, once you begin to feel a lot of tension and a lot of fear, because that is what fear and stress brings into your body, right? It brings in a lot of tension. You feel yourself sweating. You feel your palms sweating, and you are so shaky, right? Now, once you begin to breathe in and you breathe out. So breathe in with me now. Breathe in. Breathing from your stomach, right? Right? So most people are never breathing correctly, right? And that is why when the emotions come up, they are so unable to catch it. So you breathe in from the stomach and you breathe out, taking deep breaths. So, how do you feel now? You feel more relaxed, and that is how you relax these emotions that come up. Okay, so this is what we teach in our program, and this is what we always make sure that you are aware of, so that you don't get caught up in all of these emotional decisions that we face ourselves being plagued by it, not because they are there to kill us, but because this is what has allowed us to strive and to evolve as human beings right up to where we are at the moment. Okay, so that is what we do. Now, techniques for improving emotional control: journaling your traits and emotions. If you have ever attended any of my classes, or you have attended any session that I speak at, I always tell you that get a book, get a journal, right? Where you will write, uh, you can get a notebook where you write, where you take down your notes, and you also get a trading journal. So, your trading journal, you're going to go on your trading journal, you're going to what your trading journal does is that it records your performance both technically and emotionally, psychologically, and mind based. So when you take a trade, you go to your journal, you write down, I took this trade today on Euro USD. This is what I saw. This is the confirmation. I followed my plan thoroughly. Was the trade a winner or a loser? Right? Because we can never know if the trade we put on is going to be a winner or a loser. Something might happen. There are different things that could affect your trading. You could make a mistake. You could want to enter with a small lot size and you enter with a very fat lot size that blows your account. You could hold your phone on your hand and it mistakenly opens a trade, right? Now, those are the uncertainties that we find ourselves in the environment where we are trading, right? Now, so when you journal all of these things, you journal how did you feel when you were trading? Were you able to manage your emotions? Were you able to carry yourself perfectly throughout that trading period? How did you react during that trading period? Were you able to hold that trade to your target? Did you jump out of the trade? What caused you to jump out of the trade, right? Was it a successful trade? And how did you feel also after the trade? Because I told you that people take a trade, you take a winning trade today, you become so overconfident that the next day you blow your account. That is what happens to a lot of people. So, after your trading, how do you feel? there is no need to get excited, right? Trading, right? Let me tell you today, is all about probability. So there is always a 50-50% of you making money and you losing money. And so winning or losing in trading does not have anything to do with your methodology, but has a lot to do with probability. Okay. So winning and losing in trading is just a result of the probability of you landing either on the wrong side of the market or landing at the right side of the market. And so let me use an example of you toasting a coin. When you toast a coin, right, you know that when I'm toasting this coin, I'm going to either get a head or I am going to get a tail, right? And so when you toast that coin and you get a head, you are right. If you get a tail, you are also right, because those are the only two results that you were expecting. So why do you get too excited and why do you get too angry, right? Why? Ask yourself why. Okay. So if you're not able to manage these emotions, my friend, it is only going to be more bigger problems for you. Okay. No matter how you have been trying, there are people who have been trading for 100 for more than 10 years, but they never know why they keep on making the same mistakes. They don't know that the mindset, the psychology, and the emotions that they are bringing into the environment of trading does not serve them in that environment. Even though it serves us out of trading, but when you bring in that mind into trading, my friends, it does not serve you in that environment. So understand that. Now, using meditation and breathing techniques. So a lot of people think that meditation means that you sit, you cross your leg, or you go to the mountain, and or maybe meditation means that you begin to reflect on a lot of things. Wrong. Meditation just means you freeing your mind from all the thoughts that are bombarding your mind. That is what I said. We are not our thoughts. You, the personality listening to me right now, you are not those thoughts. You are not that critic that will begin to criticize you after a loss, telling you that I knew that you were going to lose this trade. Who told you that you could become a profitable trader? Those thoughts coming into your mind, they are not you. And that is where meditation and breathing techniques come up in our trading. Breathing will help you to regulate tension in your body. You ever seen when somebody is in a very tense and a fearful situation? What do they do? What do you do when you are in a very tense and uh, uh, a very emotional situation? The first thing that people do unconsciously is that they take a very deep breath, right? When you're so tired, so stressed, you take a very deep breath. And that is the same technique that you're going to apply in trading. The next thing is taking breaks to reset mind mental clarity. So maybe you have been trading, you're taking losses, you're in a losing streak. You're losing. Now, please, the best thing for you to do at that moment is to take a break. I'm not saying that you should give up, right? So you're only going to fail in trading when you give up. It is okay for you to take a break, but it is not okay for you to give up. No matter if it is trading or whatever endeavor that you're chasing at in life. So I like to tell people that if you really understand what trading is and you become a successful trader, you are going to realize that all other aspects of your life are going to fall in place, right? Okay, so you undertake a project and it is really stressful. What you were expecting to see, you are not seeing it. Do you abandon the project or you take out some time to reset, to prepare yourself and to come back? So when you're taking losses constantly in the market, do not force yourself to keep on trading. Go, sit back down, stay away from the chat for some time, right? Regain your mental clarity, work on yourself, work on your strategy. Ask yourself that what is stopping me from becoming that trader that I wish to become? Is it my technical analysis? Is it my psychology? Is it my mindset? And now you begin to know where to work from. So, anything that is not measured, right, cannot be improved. So keeping a journal will help you to measure your journey and so you can improve on it. All right. And so if you cannot take a break to measure what you are facing this difficulty in, you cannot improve on what you are facing difficulty in. So anything that you cannot measure, we cannot improve. Okay, so if you look at the way we trade, right? If you look at the currency pairs that we trade, you're going to see that most of our major currency pairs, such as GBP, Euro, the US dollar, they have factors, they have measures in place to measure the growth and the strength of their currency. But you look at a currency, you look at the exotics, right? Look at the exotics and the minors, especially the ones in the African countries, right? Nothing to measure. They have nothing to measure gross domestic product, nothing to measure unemployment. So how can we improve when we haven't measured it? We said anything that is not measured cannot be improved. That is why we cannot trade on exotics. So we have currency pairs such as the ZAF against the US dollar. Why is it that we don't trade that currency pair? Because we do not have enough information around that pair, right? So we have not measured that pair. We don't have enough information, and so we cannot improve, right? Okay, good and fine. Creating a trading plan for emotional stability. I made mention to you that if you're living from here, maybe you're living from your native country and you want to relocate to another country. You know that you need a plan of action. This is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do. Or you have a project that you need to undertake. You must have a plan, right? And you must be able to be adaptable, right? Because life is changing. Trading is changing, and the only thing that is sure in life is that things are sure to change. So, change will always be there. Change is occurring from the time that you left from your mother's home or from your father's scrotum, right? From the time you left as a tiny sperm and you went and fertilized the egg, you were born, right? That is change, and so that change will continue to occur until you get old. So the only thing that is certain in life is that change is bound to occur. So when you set your trading plan, you also need to know that you need to be adaptable. So when you face a difficulty in the market, right, or you face a difficulty in life, do you get stuck? Do you discard your plan? No, you don't discard your plan, right? So I take a trade. It is going in my favor, right? And I see that it is going to be very difficult because I am facing a resistance at a particular point, and that trade is not going to get to my target. Do I still keep on holding to the old plan? No, I don't keep on holding to the old plan. I adapt. I become flexible to say, okay, this is the new environment that I am trading in, and this is what I am going to do at this moment. So, adaptability and flexibility, as we mentioned, in the mind that you bring into trading is necessary in trading. And so, if you have not watched that video, please always go back and you watch that. There are a lot of things that are in this channel that is going to help you become a better or a profitable trader. So, setting predefined entry and exit rules. Now, when you're getting into a trade, your entry, right, should be as good as your exit. And so, before getting into the market, you need to also know where you should be getting out of that trade, right? So that you take away all those emotional decisions in your trading. So having a plan is like you, or is like a ship having a compass that is guiding it to where it is supposed to go. Okay. And even if that ship ends up on a deserted island somewhere with their compass, they will most likely always find their way to where they are going to. Next thing, limiting risks per trade. So the risk per trade on every trade, as we advise, right, or as you will read in every trading book, is for you not to risk more than 1 to 2% of your account. So if you have a $100 account, you should not be risking 10 more than 1 to 2% of that account, right? So you calculate what is 1% of $100, right? So it means I should not be risking more than $10 on that account. To an extreme, I should not be risking more than $20 on that account. And so I can spread my risks on it. And I say, okay, my first trade, I am going to risk $10. And on my second trade, I am going to risk $10 again. And so I have risked 2% of my account. So if I take those trades and all of them are losing trades, I'm going to be losing just $20 out of my account, or only $10 in my account. So remember that your mental capital and your financial capital, they work together in the market. If one gets depleted, there is also a problem. And so, my friends, this profession that you're coming into, first, you need to be aware of what you are getting into. And this is the awareness that we are creating, right? This is the awareness that you're creating. If you're not aware of all these things, you're going to have a very difficult journey. So, trading is actually not difficult. But what is difficult is managing the self and the emotions and the mind that you bring into trading. So you know you're not supposed to be risking more than 1 to 2% of your account, but you still do it. It is not because you don't know, but it's because you are so indisciplined, right? You cannot follow your own rules. And I usually ask people that if you cannot follow your own rules that you set, which type of human being or which type of trader are you when you cannot follow rules set by yourself? All right. So limiting risks can help you to trade, to stabilize your emotions in trading. Okay, reviewing and adapting strategies based on performance, and that is what your trading journal will do for you, because you have something that measures your growth. Now you are able to improve on it. When you go back now, you review your trading journal, you review your trades, right? Now you're able to manage it. If you over traded, you're going to see that there is no way for you to even manage, because after over trading, you blow your account. You're unable to give a concrete reason why you over traded. You understand what I'm telling you? Okay, I think most of you watching this, you have gone through this, and so you begin to understand now why 95% of those trading forex are failing. They are there everywhere, looking for the golden strategy, looking for the secret in forex trading, failing to understand that the secret itself lies within them. So, if you're a Christian, or if you know about this great figure called Jesus, right? He said, the kingdom of God is within you. But it's so funny and so heartbreaking that all his teachings up to today, just a few of people have really grasped that teaching, right? Because we are still looking forward for a kingdom of God that is in the heaven. And so you come into trading again. I told you, trading and life are two sides of the same coin, right? Everything that you need to strive in this life is within you. Quote me anywhere, right? And I will tell you this. Everything that you needed to strive as a human being, God or the creator or the universe or universal intelligence, Buddha, Allah, or whatever you choose to call it. I don't care what you choose to call it, right? I don't care what you call it. That intelligence already put everything that you needed to strive in this life. And so you just need to awaken it. You just need to awaken that empowered personality in you. So you're going to realize that even though we have these emotions working against us, we also have emotions, hidden emotions in that are embedded within us, that we need to uncover, so that we begin to trade more stably in the market. What are some of these emotions? We have courage, right? We have discipline. We have impartiality. We have patience. We have self-soothing. When you take a trade and you lose that trade, how do you talk to yourself? Do you begin to castigate yourself, uh, begin to tell yourself how useless you are, or you begin to soothe yourself? So if you have a friend who is in trouble, who is going through a difficult situation, So you're going to have to talk to yourself the same way that you talk to a friend who is in a difficult situation. And so when you take a trade, instead of you leaving those thoughts, leaving that inner critic that it is in you, you begin to bring in this empowered emotion of self-soothing, of a sage inside you, right? And you begin to calm yourself down. And once you calm yourself down, you begin to see that you start avoiding emotional trading, impulsive trading as well. All right. So reviewing and adapting strategies based on performance. How are you going to measure performance? You're going to measure performance by looking at your trading journal. Okay. So that is how you measure performance in your trading. Now, the next thing is the role of self reflection in trading. Now, analyzing past trades and emotional responses. You will get to a point in your trading journey, if you haven't gotten to that point, where you realize that you are the greatest loophole in your trading. And most people will always stand in denial. They will always stand in denial because they have refused to look at the person in the mirror and to recognize that the greatest problem that they are looking at in their trading is the person in the mirror. So you must first of all self reflect, know, and you're conscious that this is what is holding me back. And it's from you knowing what is holding you back that you're able to improve. Okay, that's what we talked about, measuring something so that we can improve on it, analyzing past traits and emotional responses. So if you're somebody who constantly stands in denial, you take a trait and it goes against you, and you're standing in denial and you're telling people that the market was manipulated. When I hear people say the market was manipulated, I know that this is somebody who has not self-reflected, because the market will simply do what it has to do because of your impatience, because of your indiscipline, because of your impulsiveness, right? You're going to find yourself doing wrong mistakes. I'm not saying that this is going to guarantee you 100% win on all your trades, but I am saying that if you follow your plan and you manage your risks, you manage your emotions, win or lose, you are going to realize that losing and winning does not have any ties with you, your worth as a human being. And so at one point you're going to realize also that you're going to have to detach from the outcome of your trades, because once you get attached to the outcome of your trade, your previous trade performance is going to affect your present trade performance. You cannot let go of losses of the past, or you're letting losses in the past get to your mind. You're getting you're letting losses in the past get to your mind, and you're also letting your wins in the past get to your mind. And once they get to your mind, it is going to be trouble for your trading as well. Learning from mistakes without criticism. I talk about the inner critic that lies within us, right? And this inner critic is so strong in some people that they cannot just do something. Before you want to do something, that inner critic is already there, telling you how you can never do it, how you will not never succeed, over analyzing everything. You want to take a trade, it is already at your point of interest. You've already seen what you need to take, and you start over analyzing. The inner critic begins to tell you this trade is going to lose, this trade is going to, and you begin to analyze. By the end of the day, the trade leaves your position and it is going. And as it has left your position, you start fearing that okay, you will miss out this opportunity after spending a lot of time doing analysis and waiting. You start fomoing and you start getting into the trade late, and you get into the trade at a point when the market begins to retrace against you, and so you got the right setup, but because you could not manage yourself enough, you end up losing. So learning from our mistakes without self-criticism is going to help us a lot. So you can never have win without loss. So everything, the law of polarity says you can never have a negative without positive, right? So for you to have a win, you must have a loss. And so for you to make money in trading, you're going to occasionally have some losses. And what do you do with all of this? You take a trade and you win on it. You see what you did right on that trade, right? and you learn from it so that you can perform or you can apply that very method the next time. You take a losing trade, and instead of you feeling like you are a loser, you say, okay, mistakes are natural part of every human being. Show me a human being that never makes mistake, right? And I'll show you a human being that is not living, okay, or a human being that never tries out anything in their life. So the more you avoid making mistakes, the more you are going to be pushing your success in forex trading away. So allow yourself to make mistakes and allow yourself to learn as well. Adjusting mindset to long-term success. Trading, I usually tell people, is not a destination. And so there is no point that you are going to get to and you tell yourself that I have arrived. Okay. Now, when you focus on long term success, you are going to understand that there is a process. If you want to live from the USA and you're going to the UK, you're going to understand that there is a process that you need to go through for you to get to the UK. You're not going to magically leave the USA and you get to the UK without a process that you're following. You need to go to an agency or a flight agency or to the airport. You book a flight. After booking a flight, you get a date. You're patient enough for that date to come, right? They are going to book a flight for you. They give you a date and they tell you that come on this day. You go, you sit, and you're patient enough. Then afterwards, you wait for that day. You go to the airport. You book your flight. You get on the plane and you transition from the USA to the UK. And so that is the process that you are going to go through. You are not magically going to leave from the USA and you land in the UK. And so many traders come into trading with a sort or with a result oriented mindset. They want to make money as fast as possible without realizing that there is no success in life that happens overnight. Success in life, my friends, is built on small, consistent steps, right? So you're going to realize that success simply means having a worthy ideal that you are following up. So success is just uh, you realizing that if you have a worthy ideal that you are following up with and you're taking steps consistently every day to get to that point, then you're already a successful person. Okay, we are going to look at the resources that we need for emotional mastery in trading, right? So you need a lot of resources. You need things you're going to have to learn and to unlearn. I tell people all the time that learning does not only mean that you begin to fill yourself with new things. It also means that you're going to have to unlearn some old things and some old patterns that are no longer serving you, right? For you to be able to move forward. And so, if you see that this is what is holding me back, right? This is what is holding me back. Do you keep on holding to that thing? You let it go, right? So, Jesus or the Bible says you're going to have to empty a cup so that it has to be refilled. And so your cup is too filled, too full. So you have to empty your cup so that new things come in. So the old things must pass away for the new things to come in, right? So the old mindset that you're bringing into trading must pass away so that the new mindset must come in. That is what I am saying. And you're going to get these resources from books on trading psychology. You're also going to get it on books on technical analysis because you're going to realize that if you have a good technical system without a good mindset, it is a problem. You have a good mindset without a good system, without a good technical uh, a good technical process or without a good technical system, right? It is also a problem. So do research, read books. I would advise you to read this book, Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. And there are also some books written by him, The Disciplined Trader. So go back and you look at this book. They are very good books that helped me in my trading journey, and they are also going to help you. It is there in the internet. Search it. You are going to see it. There is another great trading psychologist, Dr. Steenberger, right? Check out on his things and you're going to find good resources that will improve your trading. right? Trading psychology podcasts and courses like this one I am doing here. Come up, learn. What a lot of people do is that they want to get results without getting knowledge first, and which is also a recipe for disaster in your trading. So, first of all, get the knowledge that will allow you to strive in the market before you start looking at a result. So, please, if you are not following this channel and if you are not in my Telegram channel, please make sure to join the Telegram channel because we provide you with a lot of content on technical analysis and on trading psychology and mindset that is going to transform your trading journey. I have a lot of value that I give out on my trading, on my channel because I understand that for you to have something valuable, you yourself, you must become valuable. That is what I mean by you are the Holy Grail. And that is what Jesus meant by the kingdom of God is within you. So you think that value is outside, but value is not in you. You think that having money is a source of worth and power, right? But you are the ones, we are the ones who give money worth and power. What is money? It's just flimsy piece on paper. You put it on fire, it burns away. And we are the ones who give money value. But what most people do is that they have taken your word or they have taken their value and they have given it to external circumstances. And once that external circumstances ceases to exist, then you become a human being, which is called an empty vessel. You have no value, you have no self worth. And so, your worth as a human being is not dependent on external circumstances, but on you as a human being yourself. By virtue of the fact that you are born into this world, you are already worthy. There is nothing outside of you that is going to bring you that worthiness. Why do you think that people strive a lot and they get to a point and they think that this thing is finally going to bring me fulfillment? But at the end of the day, it does not bring them fulfillment. You think that getting into a relationship is going to bring you fulfillment. You get into a relationship, no fulfillment. You think that getting into this job is going to give you that fulfillment. You get into that job, still yet no fulfillment. It is because you haven't found fulfillment without yourself. So there is nothing out of your own self that is going to bring you that fulfillment. And it is the same thing. You come into trading and you think that your worth or your value as a trader depends on you winning and winning and winning, right? Okay, so when you take a losing trade, you have diminished your worth, right? So your success as a trader does not depend on the outcome of any single trade. Note that, right? Online trading communities and mentorship program. So you come into trading and it is a high paid profession, right? A high paying profession. Do you know how long it takes for someone to become an engineer? Do you know how long it takes for somebody to become a professional in their field? Or do you know how long it took you to leave from your nursery school, through primary school, through secondary school, through university to PhD to get to where you are? You had to go through a lot of schools and through a lot of teachers, right? Now, you get into a trading. Since access into trading is free, not restricted, right? You think that you can just come in and you just make money without you, first of all, learning. Look at the profession like engineering, or maybe let's say the doctor, becoming a doctor. You go through school for a lot of years and you're coming to work for a fixed salary, but you have gone through a lot of learning process. You get into a profession like trading, it is still a high paying skill that has the potential for you to make unlimited amounts of money, and you think that you could just come and play around and you are successful. That is the wrong mindset you're bringing into trading as well. So the mind that you're bringing into trading, my friend, will have to change, right? The mind that trades is not the mind that you are bringing into trading. And so we are going to have to rewire that mind. And you are going to have to rewire that mind by reading, by studying, by being patient with your journey, by following the process that leads to your success, by being consistent, by being disciplined, right? By attending mentorship. Look for a mentor. Who is a mentor? A mentor is someone who already has experience in what you are doing. And so, with their experience, they can better guide you. And what do you need in trading? Or what do you need in any field that you are going into? You need experience. If you want to get into the medical field, you need experience. You want to become an engineer, you need experience. You want to become a woodworker, you need experience. And so you come into trading without experience, you're expecting to make money. So give yourself enough time to experience the market. Give the market enough time to also experience you as well. Get yourself a mentor that already has experience and is already successful at doing the trading thing, right? So that you benefit from the experience of these people. Now, so in essence, what are we saying? In essence, what are we saying? We are saying that emotions are natural but must be managed in trading. I made mention that emotions are innate, built in instincts in us. And so, these are natural aspect of every human being. We could never take it away, and so we could never take it away, but we can learn to work with them. You can never have freedom from emotions, but we can have freedom of emotions through managing the emotions. All right. Self awareness and discipline will lead you to trading success, right? If you are not aware of yourself, self awareness, if I ask you now that who are you, you're going to probably tell me that you are John or you are Mary, but in reality, you are not John or Mary. There is a higher personality in you that will need to awaken. And that is what self awareness does. That is what emotional awareness does. That's what discipline will do. Your discipline to follow your trading plan is what is going to the discipline to follow up with your trading plan, to be patient and to avoid impulsive trading decisions, to avoid over trading, to avoid revenge trading is what is going to help you in the market. So at the end of the day, you realize that the market itself has no problem. The market is never going to be impatient. The market is very, very patient. But who is impatient? You, the trader. And so you see where the problem begins to arise. So your biggest loophole in your trading strategy, the biggest loophole in any trader's trading strategy is not in the market, but it's in the individual themselves. I hope this makes sense to you. And if it does not make sense to you, make sure that you join the Telegram channel. All of this, you are not going to build it in a single day. It is going to take you time for you to retrain this mind. It is going to take you time for you to master technical analysis. So give yourself enough time to embrace continuous learning and improvement because they are key to your trading success. In the series where we talked about adopting the right mindset, we talked about embracing continuous learning and improvement. I made mention to you that trading is not a destination but a process because you're going to have to embrace continuous learning and you're going to have to keep on improving on yourself, right? As a trader or as a human being, there is no time that you should stop improving of yourself. So, if you are listening to me now and who you were and where you were last year, that is the same position that you are in right now. It means that no improvement has occurred and you have not grown. So, to conclude, my friends, I would like to let you know that you can become a successful trader if you follow the right process. So, you've got this. Focus on the process that produces your consistent profitability. So, guys, if you enjoy this, make sure to check out our Telegram channel. Make sure to check out the YouTube channel because we have content not only in technical analysis but on mindset and psychology that is going to entirely and completely transform your mind and your trading journey as a whole. So, thank you guys. Thank you for watching to the end. If you did watch to the end, and I pray that your trading journey begins to see a new dimension, and may the trading gods always guide your journey. Bye bye, and I wish you all the best in your trading journey.